welcome to the Echo Tips episode number 43. It's good to have you here with us. We're going to be talking about using Skype. Skype is an interesting international phone calling service slash voice conferencing slash Skype is used for a lot of things, but it's basically a voice calling service. I can even dial landlines and whatnot. So we're going to talk about using Skype today in episode number 43. But before we get into the real weeds of that, get deep into all the different features of Skype, it'd be good to go to a brief message about our podcast. This episode is brought to you by the New Vision program at Goodwill. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission services help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. All right, welcome back. If you're new to our podcast, let me just briefly introduce myself. I'm David Ward, the Assistive Technology Instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys based in Southwest Virginia. It's good to have you here with us today if you're new, and if you're not new, we welcome you back again. So today's topic is going to be using Skype. So just briefly before I get too far into how you use this in a demonstration, Skype is an interesting service that allows you to do video and audio conferencing over the internet. Now, historically, you have apps on smartphones, iPhones, Android phones, tablets, computers, Mac, and PC that allow you to do this. And really, the real versatility was you could do Skype to Skype calling without any sort of cost generally. But it did branch out and allow you to call landlines or use it like a telephone conferencing service. A lot of podcasters use it to record hosts that call in. And of course, you can do video conferencing as well. So that's very cool, where you can actually see people or presentations. People can tie in at a very low cost or no cost. And so that's pretty cool too. And I think it's even maybe grown to be a little popular in the deaf community where that would allow you to do sign language and stuff, things like that. All right, so now that I got a brief outline of Skype, and Skype is a property of Microsoft now. Microsoft presently owns it, but it's gone through several different hands over the years. All right, so before I get into our demonstration, it's that time in our episode again for us to press the microphone button. If you have that on your Echo, and you locate that, it's got a little silhouetted microphone with a slash through it, and that'll shut our ears off, and it'll make a thump sound, turn the ring on the top red. If you have an Amazon Echo with the screen on the top, like the Amazon Echo Show, if you press that, it'll make a similar sound and put a little red bar across the bottom of the screen. That means her ears are not on, and she won't respond when I'm doing these demonstrations here in studio. So I'll just give you a moment to do that. Alrighty, and now that you've got that done, we're going to press on to our demonstrations. So now that I've kind of explained what Skype is, you got an idea, and in particular, I found when I activated my account, I was even credited 200 free minutes to call landlines or cell phones, and so that might be your case too. I don't know if it's a current promotion they're doing, but in our case, I'm going to demonstrate just calling a landline. Now, if you were to install the app on your phone or computer, you can actually add names. You could say John Doe. You could put him into your contacts, and this is his phone number, or his Skype handle. And I believe the Skype handles are generally connected to an email address. So if John Doe had Skype on his computer installed, say it's John Doe at whatever, gmail.com or whatever, you could have that in there as well and actually call his Skype. So instead of just his phone ringing, it would ring on his computer or his associated devices that had Skype installed. But for our purposes today, I'm not going to get too fancy with any of that stuff. I'm just mentioning that it is possible. In our case, we're going to just like manually give it a phone number with an area code, and we're going to call the office here. So that'll give you an idea. So Alexa, Skype call 1-540-985-8900.
Calling 1-540-985-8900 using Skype to phone.
Okay, there we go. There's a little jingle. Okay, you got a little jingle. Takes me back. I had these weird Skype sound effects for like 20 years. It'll probably go to our voicemail here in a second. All right.
A program of Goodwill in the Valley.
There we are.
If you're calling concerning the large print 2019 calendars, we're no longer accepting requests.
That's my voice.
Our inventory has been depleted.
All right.
However, if you recently placed your request, there's a good chance this final batch.
Hang up. Boom. There you go. All right, so that's how easy that is. It's pretty cool. Now, I haven't dug into the details of this explicitly, but you might be able to even do call conference numbers, where you have to put in a PIN number and stuff. On most modern smartphones, you can put a comma. So you would say like yada, yada, yada number, and then a comma that tells it to pause, and then whatever your PIN code is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it'll dial that number automatically. Now, most smartphones will do that. I have not found that Alexa's traditional calling will do that, but the Skype calling might. I just haven't dug into it yet. But you might want to look into it if that's something important that you want to do. I know some elderly individuals and different folks with dementia and other things that are limited to be able to attend some of their meetings for worship, and so they enjoy being able to do that real simply and have that do that. So that might be a unique feature. I just haven't checked into the Skype to see if you could do that yet or not. And you might find the audio quality is better than some phone calls. So, all right. So that basically will sum up some of our things. I will briefly outline how you do this in app. So in the A-Lady app or website, you would, actually I found the website didn't seem to work quite yet, even though it looks like it could. So you want to stick to the app for the time being, but you would go to settings, and then you would go to communication, and then you would go to, it should list Skype there, and then there should be a little icon on that page that says add. So you would click on the add icon option. And you would follow the steps for linking an account to that Microsoft Skype account. Now, I did notice on that page there was a little learn more dialog box, and it just mentioned some of the things about Skype, so I'll read this little note. It says, after making Skype with Alexa, you can simply ask Alexa to make Skype calls or 2 calls and call mobiles or landlines using the Skype credit. And as I mentioned, I got automatically credited like I think 200 minutes. Or you can set up a subscription service. I guess it'll just automatically debit a card. It says Amazon will save your Skype contacts in the cloud to help you connect with your friends and family. So I don't know exactly what that means. It kind of remembers a queue of people that you've called, but I have found that you really need to have the name and address in the Skype service, not necessarily the Amazon service so far. All right, but there might be some crosstalk in that regard here at some point. Okay, well, that gives you a little idea how you use Skype with your Amazon Echo, and that's pretty cool. If you want to do some international calling and stuff, that might be a handy thing. Oh, I noticed here this little note. Emergency calling is currently not supported, so if you needed to call 911 or something like that, you would find that would not work yet. Okay. All right. So, just a few little points about that. And of course, if we had a Amazon Echo with a camera, and the screen like the Echo Show or the Echo Spot, you could also do a video conferencing using Skype. So that'd be kind of interesting, assuming the person on the other end had a camera and their associated Skype installed as well. Okay. All right, so that just gives you a little idea of using Skype, and that might be something you want to look into. In our next episode, we're going to be talking about location-based reminders. So in Season 1, we talked about reminders in general, but we're going to now talk about location, or geofenced, you might say, location reminders. All right, we've reached that part of our episode where it's time to turn your microphone back on and start practicing some of the many things that you've perhaps learned during our episodes. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program at Goodwill, signing off, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. In conclusion, let me tell you a thing or two. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and it is also made possible in part by a grant from Community Foundation serving Western Virginia. And there's more. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. For more information, check out our website at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, with no spaces. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission programs help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Thanks for listening.